Okay, when learning to tell time, we need to remember the difference between what the little hand does and the big hand. So the little hand is pretty straightforward. If it's pointing to 1, it's 1 o'clock. It's pointing to 2, it's 2 o'clock, etc. If it's pointing between the 3 and the 4, for example, it's still in the 3 zone, but it's probably maybe like 3:30. If it's getting close to the 5, then it's probably something like 4:50. It's getting close to 5 o'clock. It's still in that 4 zone. This is the 5 zone, the 6 zone, etc. Our big hand, on the other hand, represents the minutes. So small is the hour, big is the minutes. So what's tricky about that is if it's pointing to the 3, for example, it doesn't mean 3 minutes. These are all multiples of 5. So the 1 suggests 5 minutes, and then you think times 5. So 2 times 5 is 10, 3 times 5 is 15, 4 times 5, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and 60, or o'clock is kind of what this one is. O'clock. So, right now, our little hand is pointing in the 1 zone. It's a little bit past 1, probably about there, and which means it's 1 something. So I'm gonna write 1 down here. It's like a digital clock. The big hand is on the 3, which obviously means 15. If our big hand wasn't exactly on the 3, maybe it's just like a little bit past it, then we can count and say, okay, well, that's 15. So 16, 17. So right now our clock says 1:17. Okay. Here's a first example from the IXL practice activity. It asks us to look at the analog clock. This is an analog clock. And then asks which digital clock, I'm sure you've heard that expression before, shows the same time. So remembering the small hand means the hour, the big hand means the minutes. We know they're multiples of 5, but I've also written it down here. So let's start by looking at the small hand. We see it's 8 in the hour of 8 something. So either of these could be correct. And then the big hand. Oh, it's down here at the 6, which we can see means 30, or we can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So obviously that one is 8:30. Okay, same process for this. We look and we see our little hand is between the 12 and the 1, so it's actually still in the hour of 12, which makes sense for these two. Then we're counting the big hand, the minutes, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, which makes sense down here with our 30, so it must be 12:30. In these examples, they give us the digital time and they want us to figure out which analog clock matches. So 8:15, so 8, well, this one is in the 7 hour, so it's not that one. This one's in the 12 hour, so it's not that one. It must be this one. Let's double check with the big hand. 5, 10, 15. Yep, 8:15. And then our last example is asking us to look for 5:30. So this one's in the 4 hour, so it's not that one. This one's between 5, and this one's in the 7, so it must be this one, but let's check 30. We're at the 6. 6 times 5 is 30. So yeah, 5:30. Okay, good luck. Oops.